Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. Today we're going to be talking about product design evolution. Evolution of product design. Let's follow the path of a car. The very first automobiles or vehicles that were made were indeed steam engines. They were placed on cars and they had a kind of like a tripod, but it was a big tripod, and that's how they powered the vehicles. Didn't go very fast. Later on, this developed into the very first gasoline automobiles. Uh, those were later then looked more like what we call a car nowadays. Then this right here would probably be the late 18. This right here would have been late 1800s. This would have been late 1800s, early 1900s. This right here would be about the 1920s, 1910s when cars were starting to be a little bit more standardized. Um, Here we're looking at something from it's probably the late 1920s. We're looking at something here from the 40s, maybe even the 50s. Here we have a little bit newer cars, a 1960 version of, I believe, a Corvette. Over here we have probably a 1990, late 1990 model of a Corvette. And then nowadays we have evolved all the way to the Prius. So you can see kind of the evolution of a product, of how it's drastically changing over time. Why do we change product? Who impacts these changes? Well, um, one of the things I want you to see is that here in the bottom left, these are obviously watermelons. But if you go to Japan, you're going to see a lot of watermelons like this. And the reason they are being grown like this is because they take up less space. It's easier to pack, it's easier to transmit, or to haul different places. It's just a much more meaningful way of getting things done. It saves a lot of space. In Japan, they have big interest in saving space. Itty bitty 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 island with a whole lot of people on it. So they are obviously very interested in saving space, and these can be stacked. History of products. When do changes take place? They take place when they're necessary. Keys, the technology to replicate keys became very easy, and over the last 10 years, we now have room keys. Some of you probably don't even realize that you used to actually be given an actual key to a hotel room. Where do changes come from? From industry. All right, industry dictates, and why does industry dictate? Is because the consumer wants something different. What advantages and disadvantages are associated with these changes? Well, that kind of goes along with whatever the product is. Sometimes you have more pollution. Sometimes you have better pollution. We're going from, as our cars have changed into something such as a Prius, you're going to have less pollution. But as we've gone from steam engines to truck and trailer, you have more pollution. So some things, it just depends on which way you look at it. Some things we're going to get advantages. Some things we're going to get disadvantages. Products changing life cycle, concept or redesign, change in needs. Research, this dictates the change in life cycle. New materials and or technology. Sketching and development, manufacture, test, market, and distribution feedback. Um, this this is a cyclical process. Sometimes a product's lifestyle or it just changes. The consumers, the manufacturers were making a certain one car fits all. Basically we had the Model T. Later on, consumers said, I don't want a Model T. What if I want a different type of vehicle? So consumers were dictating they wanted different vehicles. So the designers then started making different vehicles. They were designing these different vehicles that the consumers wanted, so the manufacturers had to start making them. Example, product evolution. MIT Invention Index at Massachusetts Institute of Technology asked which of the five inventions Americans would not live without. The toothbrush. Yes, the toothbrush emerged as the undisputed champ, beating out the car, the personal computer, the cell phone, and the microwave, in that order as the most prized innovation. So people said they can't live without their toothbrush. Yeah, I know. About three or four of you didn't even brush your teeth this morning. All right, first toothbrush. Some records indicate a version of the toothbrush that dates back as far as 5,000 years ago. All right. Babylonians rubbed a chew stick on their teeth and mouth to keep them clean. So what we've got here is we've got a picture of a chew stick. All right, Babylonians. So this is the very first one. What I want you to realize right now is you guys are going to be doing a PowerPoint like this. And you guys are going to have to pick a topic, and you're going to do a product evolution of that product. So this is an example of a student who did one over the toothbrush. So you're going to have to some type of some type of introduction here about this, whatever one you pick. And you're going to tell us how they start. Well, from there, in about 1948, a bristle toothbrush was created in China. The bristles were cut, or actually the stiff, coarse hairs taken from the back, or 1498, not 1948. Coarse hairs taken from the back of a hog's neck and were attached to handles made of bones or bamboo. Yes, they were brushing their teeth with the hairs off the back of a hog. American contributions. All right. The first American to patent a toothbrush was H.N. Wadsworth in 1850s. Companies in the U.S. started mass producing the toothbrush around 1885. Most Americans did not brush their teeth until Army soldiers in World War II were taught the habit of toothbrushing and brought their enforced habit back home after the war. Yes, yes, yes. Most Americans did not brush their teeth until soldiers from World War II were coming back. Gross. Nylon bristles. All right, so now we're up to 1939. This is when the nylon bristle was introduced. It was by Dr. Wace's Miracle Toothbrush. It was invented by DuPont. The electric toothbrush. In 1960, the first commercialized electric toothbrush was marketed in the United States. This was developed in Switzerland in 1939. So here's an example of the first electronic one. So notice we're starting to show how this product has evolved. Again, we had the one from the Babylonians. Then they told us about one the Chinese used in 1498. Then we had the ones that were being told us a little bit about 1850s and 1885s. Here we're in 1938. And then they told us 1960. And now we have Sonicare. So we've evolved all the way to where we are right now. Ergonomic design. They're going to tell us about the ergonomic design of the toothbrush. So they're going to give us a little bit of background information about it, why it's shaped the way it is. Give us a little picture about the ergonomic design, an old toothbrush, a modern day toothbrush. All right, and then we have electronic advancements here where they're sending it plays music to let you know how long you got to brush your teeth. Some of you might need that. Okay, again, you guys are going to download Activity 1.9. When you're done here, you can go ahead and download it. You're going to have to get your activity approved by me, and I'm going to go over it. But you might be able to get you might be able to select your product before everybody else if you get through this fast enough. But remember, you want to go through the stages, through the times, and we got pretty much today to work on this. Hey, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.